That had anything bad to say about him. He was always, made sure everybody else was taken care of first.
We now know who police found dead in the Mississippi River over the weekend, who he was, and what his family has to say about him.
And finding a new home for animals from Oklahoma, how a shelter here is helping out.
Live from the Local 4 News Studios, this is Fox 18 News at 7 in high definition.
Good morning, everybody, on this Tuesday morning. I'm Redrick Terry.
And I'm Alexandria Ikomoni. Thanks for watching Local 4 News this morning. Let's get started with your local news, beginning with our top story. Davenport police have 3 people in custody right now after a crash and a chase.
It started around 12:30 this morning on Appomattox Road. There were several reports of shots fired. Officers found several shell casings and a vehicle that had been hit. Witnesses told police to search for a tan van. That van was later spotted and took off from West 53rd and Brady Streets. Officers chased that vehicle until it crashed on an I-74 ramp. Now, 3 of the 4 suspects who ran were caught and are now facing several charges. DeMarlo Eddings, Marcus Kelly, and Teron Conley. A handgun was also located by the vehicle.
Right now, a family is mourning after a man was found dead in the Mississippi River this past weekend.
Yeah, authorities found Jeremy Swiatek in the water near Andalusia. Swiatek was from West Chicago and was in the area for business. Now those close to him are remembering him as a kind person.
It's an absolute tragic situation, and to be a parent of a 23-year-old child that ends up in the Mississippi River has got to be an unbelievably sad and tragic way for life to go on.
He is loved and missed by family and all of his friends. There wasn't anybody that had anything bad to say about him. He was always, made sure everybody else was taken care of first.
His brother says he was last seen Thursday night after he left a bar in Rock Island. Police are investigating to determine how his body ended up in the river.
People are now taking a stand after constantly seeing violence in their community.
Dozens in Burlington came out to a last-minute prayer vigil by the Mississippi River. It came in response to recent violence in the city. It includes a homicide and an officer-involved shooting. Fox 18's Grace Runkle reports on their message.
Nearly 50 people came together with one simple message for the community of Burlington. The violence needs to stop, but that'll only happen if everyone can come together.
Every day, it seems like here the past few years, we've dealt with something.
Alan Riley says recent violence has left Burlington neighbors pointing fingers. So he asked people to join hands instead.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that we have tonight.
I just would like to see the city come together and be united and hopefully an end to some of this violence that's going on.
Keep the peace, Lord, when the police can't.
Riley says the solution to crime is simple: prayer.
Bind us together. I don't want this to be the end of it.
But there has to be action too.
If we want to see kindness, we show kindness.
He says everyone can do little things to make people feel like they are a part of the community.
Got a basketball hoop in your yard, go out there, start shooting baskets. Kids will start coming up.
To bring them together and show them that, we love and we care about them.
And although the group has a lot of work ahead of them, Holland says the vigil is a good place to start.
I feel stirred up. I feel motivated.
Amen.
There are already several more community events planned for Burlington. We have all the details for those on ourquadcities.com. In Burlington, Grace Runkle, Fox 18 News.
Right now, 5 teens are facing burglary charges after being accused of stealing bikes in Davenport. Multiple bikes were reported missing on Washington Street. Police say they later found the 5 kids on the stolen bikes. They're all between 13 and 16 years old.
Coming up on 7:05, increased water levels are increasing concerns along the Rock River. The city of Rock Island is sending a warning to boaters because of the recent rain. They say you should stay away from the west side of Ben Williamson Park. The boat barrier marker broke in that high water, making the steel dam very hard to see. You should stay away until that water level drops.
This morning, some dogs are waiting for a new home in the Quad Cities after making a long trip last week.
More than 30 dogs were brought here from rescue shelters in Oklahoma. The rescue saved them from shelters in southern states that exceeded capacity and might have euthanized the dogs. King's Harvest Pet Rescue is now trying to find homes for 20 of them. Fox 18's Sean Logging has that story.
Boisterous new arrivals. and it doesn't take long for them to melt hearts.
How cute are you? He's like, I'm the perfect dog. And he's still available for adoption.
That's Archer, there's Savannah, and Chester, some of King's Harvest 20 newcomers from down south.
Dogs being displaced because of the hurricane, so the shelters are getting really full. They, had to possibly start euthanizing.
Assistant Director Rochelle Dougal says she appreciates the people covering hundreds of miles to give these pooches a second chance.
The shelters that we pull from, the people have immense gratitude, but all we do is take in these dogs, right? We're not setting up the transport list. We're not pulling, we're not deciding necessarily which ones to take.
The main reason King's Harvest can take in so many is because they have the room.
We're here for our community. That's what we want to do. But sometimes we don't have as many coming in, and we'll have, half of our cages are empty. So then we'll pull from, kill shelters all across the country.
But before the dogs can leave to their forever home, it's a lot of close monitoring at the shelter.
We're checking ears and eyes. It's a lot of wading through poop and trying to figure out what's going on and why their poop is runny. That's the number one indicator of good health is good poop.
It's a process King's Harvest has seen several times this summer, working toward one end result.
They go through the transport, they go through all this stress of getting all these meds, and then, in 2 weeks they're home with an amazing family.
It's easy to see that anticipation as the tails just keep wagging. Sean Logging, Fox 18 News.
And if you want more information on how to help, you can find that at ourquadcities.com. Oh, those puppies are so adorable, aren't they? Just precious, and obviously they just came from a pretty tough time. A lot of them coming from hurricane-ravaged areas, things like that. So if you could, go out there and adopt, don't shop. That's definitely the key here.
Oh, for sure. They need a home. They need a loving home. So if people are heading out there this morning, as they should, Ash, hopefully right now it's not too bad outside, but later on in the day, it's going to get a little muggy for us.
Yeah, it's not bad this morning by any means. It feels pretty good out the door, which is a nice change of pace here compared to yesterday. But today, this afternoon, very similar to yesterday afternoon, back up to the mid-80s. It's another foggy start this morning, a little humid for us, just slightly. Dew point sitting in the lower 60s right now. Temperature of 64 in Moline, 64 in Davenport as well. Dew point should climb back to the mid and upper 60s today, though. So, again, right back into the heat and humidity. I think we'll see a little more cloud cover, which honestly probably a good thing because it provides some shade for us. Kind of keep it feeling too hot, but otherwise, hour-by-hour forecast still warms up quickly. 79 by lunchtime, 85 that high temperature this afternoon, and then tonight back down to the mid-60s. So plenty of warm weather to go around. Not going to really shake this warm weather, at least until we get to this weekend.
Oh boy. All right. Well, good thing it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
We got a nice long stretch of a little bit of a muggy week to go, but I guess there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
There is. Eventually we'll cool back down, but for now, it's summer.
Yeah, it's summer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still?
Well, next week.
Still?
No. That's what it feels like, though.
Okay. All right, Ash, thanks. Coming up, some good news for fans of Wendy Williams. How much longer her show will be on the air.
How are you doing? The time now is 7:09.
Fox 18 News at 7. That's what you're watching.
Fox 18 News is live at 7 with Redrick Terry, Alexandria Ikomoni, and meteorologist Ash Simpson. You're watching Fox 18 News at 7 in high definition.